Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal, and tomorrow the Moon in Capricorn is going to create a trine with the conjunction of the Sun and Uranus in Taurus. That it is also perfected tomorrow. If you have difficulties to sleep in the next days, while this is going to be dissipated, certainly, probably you are going to find more regulation in the hours of sleeping. But it is going to continue active the next days, even when the Sun enters Gemini, which is the 20th, because Uranus, it is in the last passage of Taurus. So this season went away practically, and it is very common that the transits of Uranus generate that perception of acceleration. This certainly it is going to happen when enters in Gemini with more intensity, because Gemini is air and has this agility, and it is very it's a very it is mutable. It is a mutable modality. So I am not getting the word right now in English. Changeable, probably, I don't know. Well, so we are going to have a much more movement with Uranus there. But well, I know that this transit of the Sun and Uranus could be impacting people's lives in very different ways. For some people, this could be linked with, going through the collapse of something in their lives, that it is not responding to who they are in authenticity, letting go of spaces, aspects of oneself, perceptions that were familiar, because all of this is deriving from the full moon in Scorpio. Perhaps these things were part of their path, but right now life is calling them to change. For others, this is about decisions that could imply evolutionary steps, but that are generating uncertainty. Other people could be receiving a lot of information, because Uranus represents, these charges of energy, and this information is changing, like, the vision of who they are and what is surrounding them. Other people could be going through experiences that are helping them to give more value to other aspects that go beyond the matter, not because matter doesn't care, because the matter is the means for the evolutionary growth. And this conjunction could be a moment of appreciating other things, of recognizing that plenitude is not accumulation or having in excess, but it is very linked with how we are listening to ourselves, how we are relating with other people. It is very linked with a healthy body too, because appreciating what the body can do for us is something very important. Not everyone has this, and not everyone has all the material needs covered. So taking care of the physical body, without turning that in something obsessive, it is also very important. If you think about it, it is an act of love to other people, because our habits are the ones that allow us to reach to certain age with mobility or without it, beyond the factors that we cannot control. So the moon in Capricorn making this trine to the conjunction could be this moment of focusing ourselves in the possibilities, to put the feet on earth without confusing a realistic view of things with inhabiting a reality in which we do things because we should, because of the should be, and not with this true purpose. There could be things in our path, jobs, experiences that are not responding entirely to what the soul came here to do. But they are going to be part of the sense. There could be experiences that we want them to change. We want reality to be different, but everything should be a passage. I think this is the important part, to put that intention of approaching things as a passage, to always give steps that are taking us closer to ourselves. So many times we have to learn to not reject those circumstances because they are part of the learning, but other times we have to let go of, to stop being in charge of things that the soul doesn't want to be, to carry the burden anymore. So each one has to do their own discernment. And well, at last, I wanted to remind you that this is something that I mentioned at the first part of the week, but today, tomorrow, and the day after, it is going to be very active. And I am talking about the square between Mercury in Taurus and Mars in Leo. This could represent moments of irritability, perhaps discussions, circumstances in which we are not like finding, a middle point with other people. But if any of those things are presenting, key is always going inwards, because irritability is the way that the soul wants to tell us that, the soul is telling us, I want to take action, I want to create, I want to decide over this thing. There could be an energy, that needs to be channeled, and it could be blocked right now for because of the inner conflicts. And also this could be projected in conflicts with other people. And also, there could be a perception in its shadow that those conflicts or those things are not letting us move forward. But it is vice versa, in fact. Those circumstances, whatever circumstance could present, it is actually showing us what we need to integrate in order to give new steps. But well, in some cases could bring certain frustration. And well, as I was saying, every external conflict, it is going to reflect something that we need to see in us and to integrate. With Mars and Leo in attention, things that can make us very angry if we deepen in them, many times could respond to experiences that the inner child experimented and that were painful. Invalidation, not being seen, lack of recognition, etc. So the energy could take the form of reclaiming, of battle, demanding, battle, resistance to what the other is, and demanding of attention. So it is a key to evaluate in which context these things are happening, because if we are talking about an intimate relationship in which we are perceiving that we can really grow together, a company, in an evolutionary process, we can open the dialogue and communicate what we feel that is not working, with the disposition to look ourselves too, because if we are doing this from these accusation mechanisms, and you always do this, that it is going to create disconnection. But there are phases in which we may be dealing with people that we feel love, but we are in different evolutionary phases. And perhaps this square, it is more linked with giving to yourself that validation, seeing yourself, or doing whatever thing you are expecting from the outside, doing that for yourself, and not draining yourself in something that is not going to bring a resolution. Because when we enter in those kind of spirals, in conflicts that are not taking us to anywhere, it is because people are trying to force the other to see things from their perspective, and not open to understand what is happening with that circumstance with curiosity to observe. So also this square could be an invitation to not force the process of someone else, or to respect the one process, and to put the energy in what helps us to move forward. So thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.